5 animals that surprisingly benefit from climate change. Number 5. Cephalopods. For many marine animals, climate change is a catastrophic event, but for a certain group of sea creatures, specifically cephalopods, it's actually a beneficial phenomenon. Scientists found that over the course of 60 years, cephalopods have been increasing in number. This increase was found by accident. A team of scientists led by Zoe Doubleday of Australia's Environment Institute at the University of Adelaide were investigating the declining population of giant Australian cuttlefish in South Australia. After reviewing the catch rates of 35 cephalopod species between 1953 and 2013, the researchers found that instead of declining, the population of cephalopods as a whole was actually increasing. In fact, even the giant Australian cuttlefish, which they originally thought was dying, was thriving. This success story can be attributed to the cephalopod's extreme adaptability. In order to cope with the warming temperature of the ocean, these animals modify the rate at which they grow or the size at which they mature and reproduce. Cephalopods are so flexible they have been called the weeds of the sea. Number 4. Arctic mosquitoes. Over the past century, average temperatures in the Arctic region have increased dramatically. Researchers from Dartmouth College predict that if the rise in temperature continues, it will greatly increase the population of Arctic mosquitoes. Researchers from Dartmouth showed that warmer spring temperatures enabled the Arctic mosquitoes to grow faster and emerge earlier. To be more specific, for every 1 degree Celsius increase in temperature, the amount of time needed by the mosquitoes to develop from the larval to their pupal stage decreases by as much as 10%. This accelerated growth enables the young mosquitoes to evade diving beetles, their top aquatic predators, thereby increasing their probability of survival. This might be good news for the Arctic mosquitoes, but it's bad news for caribou, the animal upon which the insects feed. Increased temperatures would synchronize the life cycles of the two animal groups, resulting in a larger, less mobile herd for the mosquitoes to feed on. Number 3. Pine beetles. In 2008, Jeffrey Mitten and Scott Fahrenberg surveyed the pine trees found in Newett Ridge in Colorado. While hiking the forest in mid-June, they encountered something strange: a swarm of adult pine beetles. Mitten, who is an evolutionary geneticist from the University of Colorado, found this phenomenon to be odd, since the insects were supposed to come out in August or September, not June. Mitten shared this observation to his colleagues, but they immediately dismissed his claim. Together with Fahrenberg, who was his graduate student at that time, Mitten spent the summers of 2009 and 2010 studying the development of pine beetles. Over the course of their study, the two researchers found that initially, the beetles would develop normally. However, something remarkable would then happen: the bugs would reach maturity very quickly. By June, the larvae had morphed into adults and emerged from their trees. What's more intriguing is that the beetles that emerged in the month of June would immediately lay their eggs on the pine trees nearby. As a result, by August or September, there would be another generation of pine beetles. This find is quite remarkable, since pine beetles are known to reproduce only once a year. Mitten and Fahrenberg's research indicates that climate change is the factor behind this strange beetle baby boom. Rising temperatures is enabling these insects to churn out an extra generation every year. Number 2. Starfish. According to a study published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, starfish benefit from increased temperatures and carbon dioxide levels. Compared to other invertebrates, such as mussels, bivalves, and clams, starfish eat more and grow faster in warmer temperatures. Led by Rebecca Gooding of the University of British Columbia, a team of scientists investigated the effects of climate change on starfish. For their study, they placed the animals into tanks with temperatures and carbon dioxide levels ranging within current and future levels predicted by the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. The researchers documented that the starfish put inside the tank with a high level of carbon dioxide increased in size dramatically. To be exact, they grew 67% more compared to the ones placed in tanks with low levels of carbon dioxide. According to Gooding, the positive effect of climate change on starfish can be attributed to the animal's physical features. Compared to other sea creatures, starfish are less armored, enabling it to adapt better to rising temperatures. Number 1. Trumpeter swans. Trumpeter swans almost went extinct in the late 1800s. They were hunted for their feathers, meat, quills, and down. Thankfully, their population is starting to recover thanks to laws against hunting them as well as efforts to protect them and their food supply in winter feeding grounds. In recent years, scientists have learned that there's another factor assisting their recovery, and that's climate change. According to a team of Alaskan scientists, increasing temperatures are helping trumpeter swans to increase their population by expanding the animal's summer range northward into habitat never before used. Climate change is helping trumpeter swans access thousands of new acres that could be used for breeding. In previous, colder years, these new breeding habitats were inaccessible.